Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Robinson, and we are going to continue our review for the grade 7 New York State mathematics exam. So this is our show number 3. We're taking examples from the 2015 exam. So if you need help with your homework, there's a Dial a Teacher homework help hotline at 212-777-3380. You can dial from Monday to Thursday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Remember, don't forget to watch our show, Math Time, on Tuesdays from 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Optimum Cablevision, Channel 15. If you want to reach me, you can tweet me at Dr. Rob Math 1 or drob Math 1. You could also check us out on YouTube. My channel name is Dan Robinson, and you can watch our latest release, PKMS Math Prep 16. Very good movie. And you'll also see Math Prep 15, 14 on there as well. So there are some good movies there that you can see. So let's get started. Here's our first question. What is the decimal equivalent of 7 over 8? 7/8. So we have a fraction and we want to change it to a decimal. So let's get started. To change a fraction to a decimal, we divide the top number into the bottom number. So let me add a couple zeros. So I'm going to put a 0 on top because 8 doesn't go into 7. And now put my decimal point up the top there. And 8 goes into 70 8 times. And 8 times 8 is 64. 70 minus 64 is 6. Bring down a 0. 8 goes into 60 7 times. And 8 times 7 is 56. 4 remainder. I better add one more 0 and bring that down. 8 goes into 40 5 times. And so my answer is going to be 0.875. And that is choice letter C. Okay, let's keep going, see what else we got here. Oh, we have a nice math game. It's a vocabulary game I like. So we have to match the phrase with the vocabulary term that's in the bubble there. So we have answer to addition. I remember that's called sum. So let's put that in there. Good. Answer to subtraction. That's called difference. Answer to multiplication. Let's see. Right. Product. And the answer to division. That's good old quotient. And of course, the last one, answer to the exponent must be power. So that's a good review of some vocabulary terms. Sum, answer to addition. Difference, answer to subtraction. Product, answer to multiplication. Quotient, answer to division. And power, answer to exponents. So check your understanding. See if you understand so far. If you don't, turn back the tape and watch it again. If you have questions, write them down, and that way we'll see them when you bring them in tomorrow. Here's our next question. What is the value of, in parenthesis, negative 1/4 minus 1/2 divided by negative 4/7? All right. We got 2 parts to deal with. I remember when we're dealing with this kind of thing, we should work inside the parenthesis. So I got a negative 1/4. So I'm going to do my shortcut, negative 1/4, and I'm a minus 1/2. So I'm going to multiply these bottom numbers here. 4 times 2 gives me 8. Then I'm going to cross multiply. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. Cross multiply. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. And now I'm going to combine the top numbers. I have a negative 2 and I have a negative 4. I'm going to combine that together to give me a negative 6. So I got, in this parenthesis, I got really negative 6/8. And I'm going to divide that by negative 4/7. So let's get that over here. Negative 6/8 divided by negative 4/7. You remember the rule for division? The first thing is you're multiplying, not dividing, by the reciprocal of the second number. Reciprocal means you have to turn this fraction upside down. So that's going to be 4 on the bottom now. So let's fix that up again. Let's undo that. So we're going to put 4 on the bottom. Let's get a different color here. Put 4 on the bottom and the negative 4 on the bottom and the 7 on the top, and I'm multiplying that by the 6, negative 6/8. Okay, so again, I'm multiplying by the reciprocal. So negative 6 times 7 gives me negative 42. 8 times negative 4 gives me negative 32. Now, a negative over a negative gives me a positive, so my answer is going to be positive. So automatically, B is gone, and so is A, because those are negative answers. So now I got 42 divided into that, so that's going to be my answer. 42 over 32 would be my answer. So I'm going to say, wait a minute, look at C, and that's 3/7, which is a regular fraction. So this would be an improper fraction, which is greater than 1. So I'm going to say C is gone also. So I know my answer choice has to be D. But let me reduce this. Let's see. I have 32 goes into that one time, and I would be left with, looks like 10 32s. So, but I don't see that. I see 1 and 5/16. Well, 5/16, I can reduce that by dividing that both by 2. So 10 divided by 2 will give me 5, and 16 divided by 2 will give me 8. I'm sorry. Yeah, give me 8. And why did I say 16, Dr. Rob? It should be 32 divided by 2 gives me 16. There we go. So 1 and 5/16. There we go, jumping ahead of yourself. So again, I know my answer's got to be D. So I did the work just in case. So let's grab the letter D, and there we are. We are correct. So that was a great question. A lot of work to do without a calculator. So sometimes you're not going to have a calculator to do it, and you have to know how to do it by hand, how to handle it. So I would recommend you reduce your fraction over here, because that would have been a lot nicer to reduce this fraction, 6 over negative 6 over 8. That would have handled a little bit smoother. So that's a good question. If you want to go on, let's check this question out here. So let's see. What is the radius in centimeters of a circle that has a circumference of 16 pi centimeters? All right, so we got a circle, and we're looking for the radius, and it has a circumference of 16 pi. What's nice is they give you the formula sheet, and it has it, but try to memorize those formulas. C D is how I remember circumference, because circumference begins with a C and a CD is round. So if you go around a CD, it's a circle. So the circumference already is equal to 16 pi. So we have pi times what number will give you 16? Well, if I divide both sides by pi, the pi's will cancel out, leaving me with 16 equals D, and D stands for diameter. So that means the diameter is equal to 16. And if you remember, the diameter is the line that cuts the circle in half. And we know the radius is the line that goes from the center of a circle. So this is a radius, and that's the diameter. That's the difference between the two. The radius is half of the diameter. So we are looking for the radius, and half of 16. 16 times 1/2 is equal to 8. So the radius is equal to 8. So I'm going to say choice A is my answer. So let's drag choice A up there and see what it says. There we go. Choice A is correct. These are good questions. So check your understanding. See if you understand it so far. If you're uncertain, write down your questions and watch the video again, and we'll be glad to answer anything you have in the morning. Ooh. Here's an interesting question that I noticed. It's a lot of reading, so let's get it going. Each sales associate at Best Buy has a choice of the 2 salary options. Okay, so they have salaries here. $115 per week plus 9.5% commission on the associate set total sales. Here's the second one, $450 per week with no commission. Commission is the actual money you get from selling something. So if you sell something, you're going to get a portion of the sales. So it's a percentage or a fraction of the sales that you get. So that's a way a person gets their salary for their job. So here we have the average of the total sales amount for each associate last year was 125,000. So based on this average, what is the difference? We've seen that word before in our game, between the 2 salaries options each year. Okay, so we better get a calculator because we have to compute this. So let's first find out what this guy makes, because this one is easy, straightforward. $450 per week with no commission. So how many weeks in a year? And if you said 52, you are correct. So this first guy would make $23,400. That would be his straight salary. All right. So let's put that over there. Now, the second guy, or second sales associate, makes $115 per week plus 9.5% commission on his sales. So we got to do a little bit more on this one. So the first thing I'm going to write down, let's clear this, is $115. Let's back up. $115. And I'm going to multiply that per week. How many weeks in a year? Yes, you said 52. So there's 52 weeks per year. Now he makes plus commission 9.5%. Second left parenthesis, commission of his sales. So of the sales, so let's see what his sales was. 125,000 was the average, so let's type that in. 3 zeros, close parenthesis. So we have, this will be the commission amount, 9.5% times the amount of sales. You could have put a time sign in there, but I just put parenthesis next to it, which means times. So let's see what he makes. So he makes $17,855. So he didn't make as much as the other guy. So that's the other amount. Now, they want to know what is the difference between the two salary. Difference we saw in our game, that was the answer to subtraction. So let's get our calculator up one more time, and let's get those amounts typed in. So let's clear. We got 23,400, and we're going to subtract $17,855 and see what that equals to. $5,545. That is the difference between these amounts. And there it is, choice B. So I go with choice B as my answer. So that one was a lot of work to get that answer. Now the first option, $115 plus all this 9.5 commission on the sales, that sounds like you'd be making a lot of money. But you got to be careful when you're working in commission that you know how to calculate how much you really getting. So choice B is what I got, and there it is, choice B. So here is the work in case you want to see it again. So let's move that out of the way. We multiplied to find the commission of the first person, 115 times 52 plus 9.5% times 125,000. That gave us 17,855. His salary, the other person worked $450 per week times 52 weeks. That's his salary, 23,400. When we subtract the two, we get $5,545 is the amount of difference between the two. So who would make more money? The second guy. That would be the better option to choose. So this was a very good question. Check your understanding. If you understand it so far, you are in good shape. But if you're unsure and you're unaware of what's going on, please write down your questions, bring them in to us tomorrow, and we'll talk about it. So this is Dr. Robinson. We'll deal with show number 4, dealing with this type of question. So check it out. It's a good question. Again, about much money they collected in all. So if you need help with your homework, call us at Dial a Teacher Homework Help Hotline at 212-777-3380. That's Monday through Thursday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Remember to watch our show Math Time on Tuesdays from 4:30 to 5 p.m. on Optimum Cablevision Channel 15. Remember, you can reach us by tweeting us at Dr. Rob Math 1, DRob Math 1, or watch us on YouTube, see some of our movies. My channel name is Dan Robinson. You can watch our latest release, which is a very good movie, PKMS, which stands for Peekskill Middle School, Math Prep 16. Good movie. You'll like it. So good luck on your exam. I know you're going to do well because you've watched my videos and you studied hard. So I'll see you next time. I hope you got something out of the video, and good luck on your tests. Bye-bye.